Hello everyone, and welcome back to our beloved channel, Bible Study for Beginners. It's truly a wonderful and uplifting experience to see so many familiar faces returning, and at the same time, we extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all the newcomers who are joining us for the very first time today. We are absolutely thrilled and excited to have you with us as we embark on this profound and enriching journey together. Before we jump into our insightful discussion for today, we want to take a brief yet meaningful moment to encourage each and every one of you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Subscribing is not just a simple action. It plays a critical role in helping to support our mission and endeavors, and it ensures that you'll never miss any of our future content that we are passionate about creating for you. And while you're at it, please consider giving us a thumbs up to show your support for the hard work and dedication we put into our videos. Your engagement means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell. This way, you will always be the very first to receive updates and alerts whenever we upload new videos or begin our exciting discussions on various topics that we know are important to you. Today, we have an exciting plan lined up for you as we set out on a profound exploration of a topic that is incredibly important and foundational, not just to our spiritual lives, but to cultures, communities, and personal beliefs that have thrived across the globe for many centuries. The theme of understanding the 10 commandments. These 10 guiding principles are not merely outdated or ancient rules. They carry a profound significance and have served as foundational moral guidelines for countless individuals and religions, establishing the bedrock from which ethical standards and moral behaviors have evolved throughout the course of human history. As we take this journey together today, we'll reflect on how these commandments, cherished by many, have profoundly influenced the creation of laws, the establishment of customs, and the shaping of individual conduct in societies worldwide. Thus, today we will delve deeply into the significance and practical applications of these commandments in our modern lives, striving to unlock their relevance and insights for all of us today. The 10 Commandments, often lovingly referred to as the Decalogue, consist of a comprehensive and detailed set of biblical principles that encompass ethical conduct, worship, and societal interaction. They hold a pivotal and revered position not only within Judaism and Christianity, but also within the broader spectrum of what constitutes moral society as a whole. These commandments were lovingly bestowed upon the revered leader Moses by God during an extraordinary and transformative moment at Mount Sinai. This event served as a sacred and enduring covenant between God and his beloved people, a connection that has transcended generations. For countless individuals across the ages, both in the past and present, these commandments outline an all-encompassing framework regarding what it truly means to lead a life devoted to God while simultaneously living in harmony, peace, and respect with our neighbors and fellow beings. In today's video, we will thoroughly examine the rich historical context surrounding the giving of these commandments. We will delve into their intricate and profound meanings and assess their tremendous relevance and practical application in our lives today. Our objective is clear: to ensure that we can live our lives with integrity, goodness, kindness, and strength in the increasingly complex and often chaotic world we navigate every single day. By understanding these profound principles, we aim to better connect with the divine creator and with one another on a deeper level, enabling us to enrich both our personal and communal experiences as we journey forward together, hand in hand. To begin this enlightening journey, let's take a moment to critically explore the rich and profound historical background that frames the 10 Commandments. Picture the Israelites at this pivotal moment in time. They were a group that had recently experienced liberation from the enormous and relentless cruelties of slavery endured in the harsh and unforgiving land of Egypt. They had witnessed a series of remarkable miracles, events that were so astonishing and powerful that they seemed to defy the very laws of nature itself. These miraculous events included the astonishing and miraculous parting of the Red Sea and the devastating plagues that fell upon Egypt, serving as profound manifestations of God's boundless power and divine resolve. With their newfound freedom from bondage and oppression, the Israelites found themselves in dire need of guidance, clarity, and direction on how to lead lives that were not only righteous and just, but also fostered a strong sense of community that honored God and upheld high moral standards. It was during this dramatic atmosphere of change, reflection, and rediscovery that Mount Sinai emerged as the influential and sacred setting for this extraordinary event. A place where God chose to directly reveal these significant commandments to the humble leader, Moses. This powerful moment served to create a pivotal turning point in their spiritual journey and development, one that would ripple through history and intricately shape their practices, beliefs, and worldview in utterly profound and far-reaching ways. This understanding positions the commandments not merely as rules, but as essential aspects of a covenantal relationship that nurtures spiritual growth, ethical living, and community among his people. As we engage with this historical backdrop, we cannot overlook the immense importance of appreciating how this context affects our understanding and application of the commandments in today's society. The first 4 commandments focus intensely on nurturing and developing our relationship with God, and they thus serve as crucial pillars for our spiritual journey. These commandments emphasize the necessity of worshiping Him alone, strictly prohibiting the creation of idols that could distract us from our genuine devotion and relationship with Him. Additionally, these sacred directives firmly forbid the frivolous or disrespectful use of His name, reinforcing the significance and weight of God's holiness in our lives. Furthermore, they instruct us to observe the Sabbath day as a dedicated time for rest, renewal, and spiritual rejuvenation. Collectively, these commandments serve as essential reminders for us to give priority to our spiritual lives, dedicating significant time, effort, and energy into establishing a profound and deep connection with our Creator, who desires our love, commitment, and unwavering faithfulness above all else. Let's take a moment to pause and deeply reflect on how each of these commandments beautifully encourages us to live intentionally and purposefully, shaping not only our daily practices, but also fundamentally altering how we perceive and engage in our relationship with God and His divine presence in our lives today. They are not just archaic instructions meant for a historical context. Rather, they invite us into an ongoing relationship, urging us all to grow, learn, and perpetually seek a deeper connection with the divine, allowing us to embrace the blessings that flow from such a transformative relationship. This reflection also encourages us to consciously examine our daily lives in light of these commandments, asking ourselves how they can actively shape our choices, decisions, and overall existence in our hectic world. On the other hand, the remaining 6 commandments engage with and address our interactions and relationships with one another, providing a comprehensive set of ethical guidelines concerning moral conduct within the intricate fabric of society. These commandments robustly prohibit a variety of actions such as murder, adultery, stealing, and bearing false witness against our neighbors. Notably, the commandment that instructs us to honor our parents places significant emphasis on fostering respect and gratitude toward those who have raised, nurtured, and cared for us throughout our formative years, establishing a strong chain of love, respect, and familial bonds that can influence succeeding generations. These fundamental principles work not only to establish social order in our communities, but also actively promote love, respect, compassion, and harmony within our families, neighborhoods, and beyond. Gaining a thorough understanding of these commandments grants us valuable insights into how we can cultivate healthier relationships, lead more compassionate lives, and ethically engage with one another in accordance with divine standards. By embodying the essence of these commandments, we are not only adhering to moral guidelines, we are also enriching our societal interactions and contributing positively to the world around us. As we embrace and honor these teachings, we can be instrumental in fostering unity, compassion, and understanding in our communities, bridging gaps that may divide us and promoting togetherness rooted in mutual respect and dignity. Welcome back. As we continue our engaging study on the 10 Commandments, we find ourselves revisiting the essence and significance of these crucial guidelines that underlie an essential moral foundation for humanity as a whole. In previous sections, we laid a strong groundwork as we discussed their deep historical backdrop and fundamental themes. Now, let's immerse ourselves more fully into the first 4 commandments, which primarily center around our relationship with God. Engaging with and understanding these commandments allows us to grasp the very essence of our faith on a deeper level, an understanding that has the potential to profoundly influence how we practically apply it in our daily lives. The first commandment, which states, "You shall have no other gods before me," is a powerful and uncompromising declaration that emphasizes the exclusivity of our devotion to God. It challenges each one of us to undertake a personal examination of our priorities, the things we hold dearly and cherish in our lives, and to identify anything we might be inadvertently placing above our relationship with Him. This could effortlessly range from material wealth, societal status, and personal ambitions to deeply personal relationships and self-centered desires. Anything that begins to rise above God as our primary focus can easily take on the form of an idol, quote-unquote, which ultimately diverts us away from living a life that is holy and truly dedicated to spiritual truth, authenticity, and love. Reflecting on this commandment encourages us to thoughtfully realign our priorities, ensuring that our worship, adoration, and commitment are sincerely directed towards the one true God, the Creator of the universe, who deserves our utmost devotion, love, and honor unconditionally. Moving on to the second commandment, which reads, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image." This significant commandment distinctly extends the first commandment by explicitly stating that we should not seek to represent God through any physical forms or idols that are crafted from our own limited understanding. God exists in spirit and truth, and thus cannot be confined, constrained, or fully captured by human interpretations or confined within human-made objects or representations. This commandment invites us into a contemplative space, urging us to ponder how we can authentically worship God in spirit and truth, rather than getting sidetracked in elaborate rituals or by needing tangible objects for our expressions of faith. It encourages and inspires us to pursue a significantly more genuine and meaningful relationship with Him, one that relies on His Word and divine guidance as illuminated and revealed through the Scriptures, rather than relying upon the limitations imposed by physical manifestations that may distract us from understanding His beautiful, profound, and true nature. The third commandment tells us, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." This commandment speaks profoundly to the weight, significance, and gravity of God's name and character, signifying our acknowledgement of His holiness and the immense weight that His name carries in our lives. Taking His name in vain implies utilizing it flippantly, carelessly, or superficially without paying due respect to its significance or the reverence that it rightfully demands from us. This commandment encourages us to recognize and uphold the sacredness of God, urging us to carefully consider how we utilize His name in our everyday lives across various contexts. It promotes a profound sense of respectful recognition for the holiness inherent in God's name, while simultaneously reinforcing our reverence for His divine nature, teachings, and presence in our lives. It is crucial to remember that our words indeed carry power, the ability to uplift or harm one another, and how we choose to communicate about God reflects deeply on our personal understanding and respect for Him and His glorious nature. Finally, the fourth commandment instructs us to remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. The Sabbath emerges as an incredible and precious gift from God, meticulously designed for our refreshment, joy, and spiritual renewal, an important directive for our personal well-being, not just a suggestion or option. This commandment highlights the immense importance of rest and worship in our busy, chaotic, and often overwhelming lives. Observing the Sabbath allows us to step away from our endless commitments, pressure-packed schedules, and hectic routines, facilitating a deep focus on our relationship with God, nurturing self-reflection, and fostering connection with our surrounding community and loved ones. It implores us to prioritize taking intentional time away from our work and the demands of daily life, allowing ourselves to recharge spiritually and physically in a holistic and fulfilling manner. Embracing a true Sabbath can profoundly enhance our overall well-being and spiritual health, guiding us toward a balanced life that honors God while nurturing our souls and providing the necessary space for rejuvenation, restoration, and connection with our own inner selves and each other. In this segment, we've thoroughly delved into the first four commandments, each serving as a strong, solid foundation for our relationship with God. Each individual commandment presents a challenge, urging us to closely examine our hearts, motivations, and intentions while providing profound insights into how we can elevate our worship and deepen our devotion to our Creator. Now, let's transition to the remaining 6 commandments, which are more focused on our relationships with one another and address the moral responsibilities that we uphold towards one another within our shared communities. The 5th commandment asserts, "Honor your father and your mother." This vital commandment underscores the utmost importance of family dynamics and respect within familial structures that fundamentally shape our identities and collective experiences as humans. Honoring our parents fosters an environment of stability, love, and respect, nurturing the invaluable values that we carry into our adult lives and ultimately pass on to future generations, shaping not only ourselves, but the culture we live in. This commandment extends far beyond mere obedience to authority. Instead, it speaks to the essential principles of respect, love, and acknowledgement of the significant roles our parents play in our personal, spiritual, and emotional formation. In a broader societal context, this commandment invites us to extend that respect toward authority figures around us while also maintaining a spirit of kindness and appreciation toward others within our communities. It encourages a culture of gratitude, appreciation, and kindness that can have far-reaching impacts on the cohesion, harmony, and unity of our shared spaces and neighborhoods. Next, we come to the 6th commandment, which states simply, "You shall not murder." At first glance, this commandment may appear straightforward and uncomplicated, but it delves deep into the principles surrounding the sanctity of life and human dignity. It calls upon us to genuinely value life in its many forms and manifestations, recognizing that every human being, regardless of circumstances or attributes, is created in the image of God and, therefore, deserves inherent respect and dignity. This commandment stretches beyond just the physical act of killing. It challenges us to evaluate our attitudes towards anger, hate, contempt, and resentment, urging us to participate in creating an environment that nurtures love, compassion, and understanding within our hearts while actively working to overcome negative emotions. This commandment invites us to demonstrate the value of God's creation through our actions and thoughts, actively promoting a culture of care, understanding, and humanity among individuals. Living out this commandment means fostering respect for all forms of life and committing ourselves to be a source of peace, kindness, and positive interaction rather than hate, harm, or discord. Now, we arrive at the 7th commandment: you shall not commit adultery. This commandment profoundly addresses the sanctity of marriage and underscores faithfulness in all forms of our relationships, whether they be romantic or platonic. It serves as a strong reminder to us that love, loyalty, and fidelity are fundamental elements of the bonds we share with one another. This commandment acts as a preventative measure, encouraging us to delve deeply into the profound meanings behind commitment and covenant relationships, ultimately emphasizing the importance of safeguarding these precious connections with love, compassion, and unwavering fidelity. Being intentional about protecting the sanctity of our relationships leads to a much greater understanding of what it truly means to remain true and faithful to one another, both in spirit and in action. By embodying this commandment, we contribute to building loving, trustworthy, and resilient relationships that can weather life's challenges and bridge gaps together in times of need. The 8th commandment presents a clear and straightforward directive: you shall not steal. This commandment serves to protect the rights and properties of others, placing a significant emphasis on honesty, integrity, and respect in all our dealings. It teaches us to cultivate a spirit of respect for what belongs to others, encouraging a generous heart that is willing to share what we have with those in need. Engaging with this commandment prompts us to reflect deeply upon the implications of our actions and behavior, considering how we can promote fairness, compassion, and generosity in our interactions with others. Ultimately, we can strive to create a more equitable environment where everyone's rights are recognized, honored, and respected. Continuing our journey, we next reach the 9th commandment: you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. This significant commandment highlights the immense value of honesty in all our communications and interactions with others. It serves as a constant reminder that our words and the manner in which we choose to communicate can either uplift others or inflict significant harm and pain. Bearing false witness can lead to devastation and misunderstanding within relationships and communities, perpetuating distrust and division among individuals. Striving for truthfulness, on the other hand, instills vital trust and promotes harmony within our circles, encouraging us to speak with integrity, humility, empathy, and love in our daily interactions with others, regardless of the circumstances we may find ourselves in. Every interaction becomes an opportunity for us to model honesty and foster goodwill among our peers and communities. Lastly, we arrive at the 10th commandment: you shall not covet. This commandment directs our attention to our desires and urges us to be cautious and reflective about the longing we feel for what others possess or have attained. Coveting can lead to overwhelming feelings of jealousy, discontentment, and ultimately to destructive behavior that harms not only ourselves, but also those around us. This commandment invites us to focus on cultivating a sincere attitude of gratitude for what we already have, promoting a spirit of contentment with our unique lives and circumstances. It teaches us to appreciate our blessings deeply without succumbing to the unsettling and consuming temptation to desire what belongs to others. By doing so, we develop an attitude of thankfulness and joy that not only enriches our own experiences, but also strengthens the quality and depth of our relationships with others, uniting us in shared happiness, mutual respect, and understanding that transcends material possessions. As we reflect on these last 6 commandments, we can clearly see how they collectively emphasize our duties towards one another. They teach us invaluable lessons about respect, love, integrity, and contentment, all of which serve as a sturdy and lasting foundation for fostering healthy and meaningful relationships among individuals within society. Together, the 10 Commandments provide us with a comprehensive and holistic view of morality that serves as a guide for how we interact with God and with others, reinforcing the importance of living in harmony with the divine and with our neighbors alike. Now that we have thoroughly explored the 10 Commandments in great detail and depth, let's take a moment to pause and reflect on their significance and application in our lives today. Many people often wonder if these ancient laws hold any relevance in contemporary society, especially given how much the world has evolved and transformed over time. However, the truth is that the core essence of the 10 Commandments is undeniably timeless. These principles remain profoundly relevant and resonate deeply with the fundamental human behaviors and the social structures that shape our lives today. At the heart of these commandments lies the universal call to love, love for God and love for our neighbors as ourselves, two commandments that are intertwined and cannot be separated. This dual focus teaches us to prioritize both our spiritual health and well-being alongside our relationships with the diverse individuals we encounter in our everyday lives. As we navigate through our daily interactions, let's carefully consider how each of these commandments can shape and influence our decisions, actions, and overall behaviors. Reflect upon specific areas within your life where you might find yourself straying from these divine guidelines. Are there any concrete steps you can take to strengthen your commitment to these vital principles moving forward? Can you think of practical ways to integrate them into your daily life and routine? By fostering a conscious awareness of how the Ten Commandments speak to our actions, thoughts, and attitudes, we can cultivate a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life that is reflected in the way we treat others and ourselves. A transformative journey that encourages us to be vessels of love, compassion, and kindness in a world that often feels divided and chaotic. Moreover, understanding the Ten Commandments goes beyond simply adhering to a set of rules or regulations. It also involves fostering an internal moral compass that guides our thoughts, choices, and behaviors in ways that align with divine truth and wisdom. Each commandment serves as an important reminder, helping us recognize the values and principles that should govern our actions and interactions with one another, illuminating the path we are called to walk in this life. For example, honoring your parents isn't merely about blind obedience to authority. Rather, it is fundamentally about cultivating a genuine sense of respect, love, and gratitude towards those who nurtured, raised, and cared for you throughout your life journey. This foundational commandment shapes your character and influences how you relate to others in friendship and community. When we honor our parents, we lay the groundwork for a culture of respect, appreciation, and kindness that can extend into our broader relationships and communities, creating a ripple effect of kindness and honor that can touch many lives over time. In a similar vein, the commandment that forbids coveting what others possess encourages a mindset deeply rooted in gratitude, contentment, and joy for what we already have, ultimately leading to greater happiness and fulfillment in our lives. It teaches us the importance of celebrating our unique journey while appreciating the blessings we hold dear in our hearts. As we navigate the complexities of our desires, it is vital for each of us to actively examine how these principles manifest not only in our daily experiences and interactions, but also in shaping our mindset and overall perspective toward life, relationships, and the communities we engage with. This deeper engagement with an application of the commandments fosters a spirit of reflection, growth, transformation, and renewal, motivating us to realign our lives more closely with the ethics, values, and truths they embody. Let's not overlook the fact that the Ten Commandments were not intended to act as restrictive limitations. Instead, they are designed to be liberating, empowering, and enlightening. These guidelines offer a framework for living harmoniously within society, promoting principles that foster a spirit of peace, cooperation, compassion, and goodwill amongst individuals and communities. Each commandment plays a vital role in helping us build and maintain healthy relationships with one another across different facets of life, community, and society at large. For those who may be struggling with issues such as anger, jealousy, resentment, or dishonesty, these commandments serve as invaluable reflective tools. They invite us to thoughtfully assess our personal behaviors and attitudes, ultimately guiding us toward more virtuous paths in our lives that align with God's teachings and eternal truths. Engaging with the Ten Commandments can serve as both a guiding light in difficult times and as a pathway toward reconciliation, understanding, and restoration in our relationships with others, cultivating an environment filled with compassion, integrity, and understanding. The empowering essence of the commandments encourages us to not only abide by moral principles, but embody love, grace, and kindness in all our interactions. The call to live out these commandments becomes an invitation to foster pathways toward healing, connection, and acceptance among ourselves, our families, our communities, and the world. For those among us who harbor a deep desire to dive even further into this important subject matter, rest assured that there exists a wide array of resources and opportunities that can significantly enrich your understanding of the Ten Commandments and their implications for personal and spiritual growth. Consider delving into theological commentary that provides insightful interpretations, historical context, and reflections on these ancient principles. You may also wish to join vibrant study groups that encourage dynamic discussions, exploration, and fellowship, engaging with fellow seekers in an atmosphere of shared learning and discovery that can help deepen your insights. Even participating in online classes centered on biblical teachings and the applications of these commandments in the context of everyday life can provide enriching experiences. Engaging with others in thoughtful discussions can illuminate various interpretations, practical applications, and enriching insights about these timeless commandments, offering fresh perspectives and deepened understanding. Always feel free to approach these resources with an open heart and mind, ready to learn, grow, and deepen your understanding of these enduring principles as they relate to both your spiritual growth and ethical living. By investing time in your knowledge and understanding, you contribute not only to your personal journey, but also to the greater community that benefits from collective wisdom, shared insights, and the rich tapestry of experiences we all hold. As we prepare to wrap up our comprehensive exploration of the Ten Commandments and the impact they have on our lives today, let's take a moment to summarize the key points we've covered throughout this enlightening and transformative discussion. Throughout our time together, we've delved into their rich historical context, thoroughly examined the implications and teachings of each commandment individually, and grasped their profound relevance and application within the world we inhabit today. Remember that these principles are not merely a set of strict rules or regulations that stand isolated in time. Rather, they act as a radiant guiding light, illuminating our path toward a more fulfilling, harmonious, and enriching life. Allow these commandments to inspire you to act with kindness, integrity, and love in every aspect of your life. In doing so, let them shape your engagement with the world around you and guide you in fostering meaningful relationships with those you encounter, ultimately steering you toward a more purposeful, spiritual, and enriching existence. Thank you for joining us in this enlightening study, and we look forward to exploring more enriching and thought-provoking topics in our future videos. Your journey in understanding the scriptures is ongoing, and we genuinely appreciate and are grateful to be a part of it alongside you as we collectively seek to deepen our faith, understanding, and love for God and one another.